Well, honestly, impressive looking cigar. I've had it years ago, and I had a great time with it. The last time I had this might have been in Gordo, and I think I was smoking it in a cemetery. And that was before, that was pre-collapse, Richie, where that was, I destroyed that episode. It's not there no more. Shit happens. There was Old Testament Richie and New Testament Richie. We're in the New Testament. There was a flood. The Old Testament Richie was real eye for an eye. For anyone that's been around long enough on my channel, from like 2017 to like 2021, it was a crazy time. And then Richie deleted everything. 1,500 videos. I am the only YouTube channel to delete 1,500 videos. Some videos 3 hours long. And then start from scratch. Oh, fuck, that's a big bug. Damn. Anyways, Altatus makes some great cigars. Look at the quality on this. This is Toro. Now, this is a golden-looking Connecticut, but it's a Nicaraguan Puro. This was one of the first Nicaraguan Connecticut wrap cigars. Connecticut seed, but a Nicaraguan shade tobacco. So instead of Ecuadorian Connecticut, which most people are getting, you're not getting true Connecticut. Now they replaced it, in this case, with Nicaraguan Connecticut shade. Now, I believe this might have not been the first Connecticut Nicaraguan shade cigar in the world, but I believe it might have been the first time done on a mass-produced cigar. Although, and this one's by, it's obviously Altatus owns Romeo, but this was either contracted out to AJ or Plasencia, and it's one of them. I think it's Plasencia. I'm going to confirm that. I know the original one, that the 1875, not the red one, but the original different one, the orange and white one, the creamsicle, that was Plasencia. And then the blue one, just the regular Nicaragua, I think that was AJ. And I got to retouch up on that one, because I never liked that one. But maybe revisit it. Maybe, because I had that years ago. Give it a fresh take. All Nicaraguan. Got some different colors in the filler. We're going to get to it. It's a thinner wrapper. I got a little damage to the bottom, but it's got a really full pack. And I paid about $8.50 Pennsylvania. And I'll tell you what, mid-tier price, really nice looking cigar. I'm hoping to have a good, relaxing time. I already ate most of my fucking frozen mango, and it's a Nica Connecticut shade. So, like I said, it might have been the first Nicaraguan Connecticut shade as far as mass-produced. This came out in 2020. I don't know why I'm so excited to try this again, but I am. Okay, so we're deep into this good construction. I'm going to drop that ash. Good burn line. It's a nice medium strength. It's about 60% darkness. It's a comfortable cigar, but I'm going to tell you right now, last time I had this, I believe I had it, that I could remember, in Gordo. And that larger size, normally I don't recommend Gordo, but in this blend, the larger, in this size, the Toro, it's a little more grassy and floral than I'd want in a Connecticut, but it's not a regular Connecticut or not a regular Ecuadorian. I would say this, that Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper is more similar to regular Connecticut than this Nicaraguan Connecticut. However, though, it's not bad, but this is also all Nicaraguan Puro, so I don't think it's a wrapper issue for whatever, but the combination of how the filler pushes the wrapper. The bottom line is, I think that Nicaraguan tobacco pushing this wrapper, instead of like pushing and making it stronger, it's coming off as a little more bitterness, like, how it harnesses it. Does that make any sense? So opening up the gauge to 60 is the sweet spot in this case. You know what I'm saying, though? If you make a cigar in 3 sizes, only one could be the best of the 3. And that could be preferential, but I'm just saying from my experience, the Gordo, it tasted more, tastes like banana nut bread too. You get a banana sweetness, it's nutty and bready, like a toastiness. So the Gordo has more of a banana nut bread, but without all that floral and grassiness. This is not bad at all, but it has more grassiness and floralness than I wanted. Maybe that's my perception, but my perception is also, it leads my review. And then overall, majority of my reviews, most people agree with. Or you could say they don't, but most people, when they smoke my cigars, the way, and I don't just recommend or not recommend, I give deep analysis to these, I don't just make cock jokes. But you understand what I'm saying, though. So, is this bad? No. Can you smoke this? Absolutely. But I wouldn't go with the smaller gauge in this case. That bigger gauge in this opens it up, cools it down, makes it a little less stronger, but you get more of that breadiness, sweetness, more of the banana nut bread. It's got a little black pepper spice, but I'm just not crazy about I don't mind a little floral, a little grassiness on the Connecticut. But it just seemed more than I wanted. Now, granted, too, this is maybe a Placencia, and maybe 5 years ago was a better crop, even though it's the same blend, allegedly, right? But from crop to crop, from year to year, things could change. And all I'm telling you is I liked it better 5 years ago. Now, was that just because of the size or because of the tobacco 5 years ago, for this case, worked better? Or, worked better? I don't know. It's one or the other. So the only thing I can tell you is don't try it in Choro, try it in Gordo, or buy both. But I'm telling you, normally Gordo, you don't like it because it washes it down a cigar. But if it's already a gentle, medium strength Connecticut shade, the Gordo now has less effect in a sense. It's not going to ruin your day. But, most people don't want like a 6x60, Padron 26. It's not what they're going for. I digress. Okay, I need to bring this up because this is important. I wasn't here. I was here just a little while ago. You understand what I'm saying? I literally just dropped the ash, and it's been about 30 seconds. And as soon as I dropped that ash, a lot of that bitterness went away. So I like to pay attention to things. So what does that mean? Now, in that case, is it not an issue of the size? Because the whole time I was growing the ash. The point is, though, normally the ash calms the cigar down. The point is, though, as soon as I drop the ash, that bitterness. So keep that in mind, too. If you are smoking this Robusto or Toro, don't grow the ash. As soon as I like to pay attention to things. As soon as I dropped that ash, the cigar was more buttery, more nutty. And a lot of that grassiness. I don't mind a little floral, but that grassiness went away. So maybe somehow, as that smoke I'm pulling in, it clearly affects it. Keeping the ash on in a way acts as like a filter, and it cools it down. But at the same time, somehow, in this case, with this blend, it didn't enhance it. It kind of perverted it in a way that it didn't feel as good as it should. And honestly, without the ash, I'm right there where the Gordo was. So fuck. Jeremy knows this. I like to pay attention. Don't grow the ash. Not on this one. It's buttery, silky. It's nice. So I'm glad we had a learning lesson here. I don't lie. I pay attention to things. And when I got rid of that ash, this is an enjoyable mid-tier cigar. So in the end, enjoyable mid-tier cigar. I liked it. Don't keep the ash. In fact, that little ash, I'm gonna try. But before I had like a good amount of ash, almost like 2.5 inches of ash. I'm glad I got rid of that. I still think the Gordo might be the way to go, though, overall. But this was enjoyable. 4.55. Respectable cigar. Not like a high very good, but I could recommend it. Better than good. Right on that line of good to very good. Right, this is nothing wrong with it. I wouldn't say go buy a box or you have to have it, but it was enjoyable. And I think it gives some characteristics different than the classic Romeo 1875. But there's nothing wrong with that one either, though. And that they'll feel more like a traditional Connecticut. So if you want like banana nut bread, some black pepper spice, it's quite smooth. Finish is about medium in length and finish and heaviness. So 60% darkness. Nothing bad about it. But honestly, the bigger gauge, I think, is just more appropriate to the blend. In the end, if I had to choose one size, I'd go with the 6x60 in this. And I'll leave it at that. I wish you well. Stay fresh. No cigars in prison. Tensa for camping.